Not we, I am.
It's okay.
All right, we're gonna start standing here. Let's immediately go ahead and pick up the toes, stretch them, spread them apart, take them back to the mat, get a bit of a grip there. Let's give the shoulders a roll up, back, and down. Let's go arms at the sides, palms facing forward. Maybe rest the eyes, maybe a light gaze. Just going to slow down that forward momentum of the day to start. Really busy heads, and we're all kind of high strung this time of the day, transitioning. Body's different than it was this morning, different than it was yesterday, continually changing. I challenge you to take a look today and see if you can notice something during the hour as it adapts or changes. Make sure those knees are soft here. Let's tuck the tailbone. We'll just lengthen the spine a bit. Go ahead and scan the body just for what's there now. Without judging it. Maybe an injury, maybe an old injury. Just notice it. Not gonna make it worse. And the head space. It's gonna wander. It's gonna wander the whole class. And keep bringing it back to the body, what you're feeling right there, and the breath. What's the breath like right now? We're going to start to grow the breath. And as we grow the breath, we're going to extend the spine a little bit taller. Check in with those toes, knees, and that tailbone. But on our inhale, we're going to open our hands, we're going to open our fingers all wide. And on that longer exhale, we're going to bring our hands into clenched fists. So bigger inhale, opening all the fingers, spreading them apart, spreading the hand. Exhale, fingers and palms coming into a fist. Just go to the rhythm of that breath that's just a bit bigger. Find yourself with your fingers wide open again. Just gonna pause there. Gonna exhale, and then on the next inhale, let's take the arms all the way up. Might pause with any resistance along the way. Couple breaths into it. Relax the shoulders down. Soften the knees, tuck the tailbone. Let's exhale, bringing those arms back down by the sides. Let's inhale them up. Exhale back down. Inhale up once more. Go ahead and Let's send the palms toward the sky. Gripping with those toes, check in with that tailbone. Next, exhale, gonna twist left. Our movements will all be a little different here, depending on the size of our breath. Check in with those knees. Did one lock out? It did. Go ahead and soften it. Next, inhale back to center. Big inhale. Exhale, twisting right. Remember, only twisting as far as that spine is still straight. Last big breath here. And then we'll come right back to center. And we'll drop the arms down by the sides. Give the shoulders a few rolls. Maybe forward, backward. Clicking or popping, make those circles smaller. Create space there. Let's take a couple steps back on the mat. We're just going to do a couple balancing ones before we go down to the floor. We're going to do mostly a floor class today. Go ahead and notice that center of gravity, side to side, front to back. When your weight's evenly distributed on both feet. Look for something to focus on. Maybe on the floor or the walls, something not moving. If your eyes are closed, that makes it more challenging. So you might want to start with them open. Let's go arms down by the sides, fingertips pulling down, pulling those shoulders away from the ears. We're going to take a step forward with the right foot. We're going to spread the toes, get a grip, and we're going to pick up the left foot right in front. Want to find that place just outside of easy. If you're not wobbly, you might want to lift that foot a bit higher. Want to keep that right hip nice and straight here. Want to keep that right knee soft. Gonna move slow. We're gonna start to take that left foot. We're gonna send it behind us and reach forward with our fingertips. Foot may come down 100 times. Let it, shake it off. Mine's gonna come down too. Checking in with that hip. Want it straight. One more breath here. Let's bring that foot down.
I just made it.
Let's give those hips a good shake. A great example of how, we really should balance and stand. If you're around babies and you watch them walk and navigate when they're learning how to do it.
Yeah.
They take a step, they grip with their toes, they wobble, they figure it out, they adapt. And then the next step doesn't mean they're never going down.
But when I was little, I was always balancing a beam, just because you have this ability when you're a kid. Now when you grow,
You still have that ability. Just have to practice. When you were a kid, you were on that balance beam probably 3 days a week. All right, arms down by the sides once more here. Check in with those knees, soften them. Grow really tall before going in. Already know the body's going to want to collapse that hip for more depth. This time we're going to take a step forward with the left foot. We're going to pick up the toes, Get a good grip on the mat. We're gonna lift that right foot up in the front. Gonna breathe big. Is that hip straight? Is that knee got a little tiny bend in it? Holding the breath to focus, just bring it back. Picking that foot up until everything's a bit wobbly. We'll slowly start to send that right foot back. We're gonna reach forward with the fingers. Remember, it's not about how high it is. Wanna follow the form. Hips straight, opposite arrows of movement. Big breaths. Just one more. Let's bring that foot down. Let's bring the arms down. Let's give it a good shake. Anything going on with the wrists today?
It's fine.
Let's go down. Let's go down via down dog. Let's grow tall first. Shoulders down and away from the ears. Hands to the front of the thighs here. Big inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to start to extend forward. We're not going to round or fold. We've had enough of that today. Pull the sit bones toward the wall behind. You're going to pause here with those hands on the legs. Take big breaths. Clean out all that muck between the vertebrae. Let's go about 2 more big breaths right here. And then you're going to bend the knees, take your hands down to the mat, fingers wide, actively gripping, walk the feet back. Hips are moving in the direction of the ceiling. Chest is moving toward the front of the thighs. Back of the thighs are moving toward the wall behind. Heels are moving in the direction of the floor. Gaze is between your feet. May pedal out a little here. Get a little stretch on that Achilles. And when you're ready, we're just going to shift the weight, moving forward to where it's on. Our arms and hands are supporting us, and we're just going to bring one knee down at a time. We're going to take the knees wide here. Big toes moving toward one another. We're going to send the hips in the direction of the heels, and we're going to walk the hands forward. And just going to relax there. Try to relax those arms. Try to relax the ribs. Relax the shoulders here. Last breath here. And then we're going to walk our hands up. We're just going to come up to all fours. So hands and knees. We're going to have shoulders stacked over soft elbows, stacked over wrists. Hips are over the knees. Right here, going to pull the crown of the head forward. Going to pull the sit bones back. One more big breath just like that. Next exhale, gonna start to send the shoulder blades in the direction of the ceiling, kind of hunching like a cat. And then gonna inhale back to that extended form. Crown of head pulling forward, sit bones back. Moving in the direction of your own, moving in the rhythm of your own breath here. Inhale, extending. Exhaling, shoulder blades toward the sky. And when you find yourself back at center, let's just go ahead and stay right there. Let's send the right foot back up to toes. Right here, gonna pull the crown of the head forward as you send the heel toward the wall behind. Pulling against each other, creating space all along the body. You might hop that foot over, crossing it around that left foot. And turn and gaze toward your right heel. Keep gripping with those fingers. Let's go ahead and hop that right foot back over. Bringing that knee back to meet the left. And let's send that left foot back. And on an exhale, send that heel toward the wall behind. Pull the crown of the head forward. Check, make sure you still have a little bend in those elbows. Maybe hop that foot across the right. Gazing over that right shoulder, looking in the direction of that left heel. Last big breath here. And then we'll hop that foot back over, bringing that knee back down to meet the right. Just gonna do one more on all fours here. Let's find that extension again. Crown of head pulling away from those sit bones. Let's inhale, sending the right fingertips in the direction of the ceiling. And exhale, gonna drop that right hand and arm, sweep it beneath the left, sending the right shoulder in the direction of the floor. You can take that hand that's on the mat and place it on the small of your back if that's working for you today. Not required, you can also leave it right there on the mat. Might do just a gentle sway of the hips to feel a little bit of different movement here. And when you're ready, just press down with that left hand. So left hand back to the mat, pressing down, gripping with those fingers, bringing the right hand back. Squaring up, just resetting the spine so it's straight again. Crown of head pulling against those sit bones. Next, inhale, let's take those left fingertips in the direction of the ceiling, projecting out of that left shoulder. Exhaling, dropping it, threading it beneath that right arm, sending that left shoulder in the direction of the floor. Right hand can go to the small of your back. If it's on the mat, just continue to grip, strengthening all those joints. Just a couple more breaths right here. And then if that right hand is on the small of your back, you can go ahead and bring it back around, pressing down on the mat, back to all fours, and finding that extension, just resetting. And from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come all the way down onto our right hip. So just find yourself sitting on that right hip. If it totally feels like you're tipping over, you can take the blanket. You can give yourself just a little wedge, kind of like a doorstop there. Anything showing up in the knees at all, you can either double up on that blanket or you might take a block right under that right hip. Anything to relieve anything off of those knees. We're gonna go right hand right outside. Actually, we're gonna go left hand right outside the feet here. My feet are really close to my body and they're tucked under just as much as I can there. But left hand right outside this left foot. We're gonna inhale, extending those right fingertips tall. And on an exhale, you might start to walk those left fingertips out. Looking for that first point of resistance, breathing into it. Scaling back. How does your body feel right now? Can you feel any movement? How's it different from when you started? And when you're ready, we're going to walk those left fingertips back up. We're going to bring the right hand down back to the side. We're not going to move to the other side yet. We're going to send this left leg back. It's moving in the direction of straight. It might not be all the way straight. Want to roll onto the top of that back foot as much as possible, keeping this right foot in a tight bend. Keep that right sit bone on the mat or on a blanket. We're going to square the torso up right over this front leg. We're going to relax the back leg. We're going to try to relax the body here, and on an exhale, be walking those hands forward. Relax that jaw. Relax that hip, relax that thigh if it's tightened up. Anything starts to flare up, any of that pain you started with, you're going to scale back. And breathe big and reassess. If you're all the way down to forearms here, you can take that left hand and you can thread it beneath the right, and you can send that left shoulder in the direction of the floor. Might have to remind yourself then to relax the body. Do that scan right now. Where can you let go? Maybe something's tensed up. Or maybe it's that head space. Keep stretching that breath. Just one more here. Relaxing the body once more on that exhale. And then slowly starting to walk those hands back up. Not autopiloting here. And then we're going to slowly bring carefully that left leg around. Bringing that right foot around. And we're going to start by bringing them both to the right side this time. Turning onto the top of those feet as much as possible right there. Check in with the knees. Anything showing up? Find whatever height you need. Protect those knees, and we'll go right hand outside this right foot this time. We're going to inhale, extending those left fingertips toward the sky, pulling out of that shoulder, exhaling, walking those fingertips out if there's space. We're looking for extension here, nice long left side, fingertips pulling out of that left hip. Tune into those knees. Scale back or out. Anything starts to show up there. Let's go one more big breath here. And then let's walk those fingertips back up, bringing that left arm down. And we're going to start sending that right foot back this time. Not autopiloting. Seeing what we can notice along the way. Can always catch something. I like to share some of my anecdotes. I noticed that I get a little lazy with that one, and I don't tend to roll over onto the top of that right foot, which I've noticed is actually difficult for me to do because I've done a period without making that effort. Let's squaring that torso over that left knee. And I share that too because that kind of stuff comes into those imbalances in the hips. Exhaling, maybe walking those hands forward. And you follow the form. Sometimes that boundary is way closer to the beginning than you are actually moving to. If you're all the way down to forearms here, you can take that right hand, you can thread that beneath the left, sending that right shoulder in the direction of the floor, if that's your depth. Relax that back leg and that back foot. Relax that hip. Relax the forehead. Where can you relax? What's tensed? Be a little different on all of us. Could be the jaw, could be the body, could be the head space. Just see what you can do to calm that. Scaling out or back if needed. My times are always suggested. Just a few more on this side here. And then let's slowly start to walk those hands back up. And let's bring this right leg around. Let's grab onto the shins and let's just roll back all the way down onto our backs. We're not going into our final posture yet. We're going to do a few right here on our backs. Let's go arms wide into a T, palms facing the ceiling. Let's go soles of the feet together, and let's just let the knees cascade out to the sides. What can you let go of right here? Send some big breaths. Trying to get that lower back to settle a little. Let's go soles of the feet back to the mat here. I'm going to see if I can reach that strap. Just stay put. I'm going to make these reachable here. Using that strap, we've got the soles of both feet on the ground right now. You're going to give yourself a good bit of slack. I have my strap just not folded at all. I'm going to take my right foot, I'm going to place the strap around it near the heel area. My left foot is still on that mat. I'm going to straighten that right leg, but just keeping that knee a bit soft there. Might choke up a little. Gonna start to direct that foot toward the head, or the sole of the foot toward the ceiling, depending on how much depth you have here. Let's try to keep that right hip anchored to the floor. Might extend that left leg, that bottom leg out. Send some big breaths right here. Leg starts to shake. Give yourself a little more slack in that strap. Let's take the left hand out into that half T, palm up, and might guide that right leg out to the side, opening up that hip. Might have to adjust a bit. Might need to put the sole of that left foot back to the mat. Let's start to bring the sole of that right foot back toward the ceiling. Let's grab the strap with that left hand. Let's go right hand out into that half T. And we're going to cross that right foot over toward the left. Couple big breaths right there. Let's use the right hand, both hands to the strap. Sole of the foot toward the ceiling. One more long, straight right leg here with the right hip anchored. And when you're ready, let's slowly bring that right foot back down to the mat. Not gonna move over to that other side quite yet. Let's roll onto the left side. So just gonna roll onto your left side here. Might use your arm as a pillow, or you can grab those blankets. Both legs are extended out long here. You're gonna take your right arm, big circle. You're gonna bend the right knee, and you're gonna reach behind for the top of that right foot. Check in right there. That might be enough. If it's too much, anything's coming up with the knee, you can grab the strap. Everything's good there. You can start to send that right knee back, opening that right shoulder. You can scoot that left foot forward a little just to counter, making it a little easier to balance. Right shoulder's open here. What can you relax? One more breath here. If you extended that left leg a little out, you can go ahead and bring it back. Release that right foot so that it goes to meet the left. Let's roll onto our back. Might have to shimmy a little on the mat. Both soles of the feet to the mat. Let's lift the feet from the floor. Reach for the knees with the hands. Gonna do some slow circles in one direction. So circling the knees in one direction. Noticing how that lower back feels. Let's reverse the direction. Try to let the legs be dead weight, arms doing all the work. And then bringing the soles of the feet back down to the mat. Hopefully that strap is still close by. May have forgotten, we still had somewhere else to go here. Let's take that strap. Let's give ourselves plenty of room there. We're going to take the left foot. Strap's going to come somewhere around the heel area. We want that left leg to be straight, but just outside of locked. We're going to guide that foot, sole of that foot toward the ceiling. You might have more depth. You can control depth, choking up on the strap. You might extend that right leg. Watch for that leg to shake. If it does start to shake, just ease up. Body will be much more willing to cooperate if you're not forcing it beyond that boundary. We'll go left hand to the strap, right hand out to the side, half T, palm up. Exhaling, maybe taking that left foot out to the left. Breathing big right there. Check in with any pain you started with. Don't want it to amplify. Let's go ahead and bring that leg up so the sole of that foot is toward the ceiling. Notice again how that lower back settles on the floor right here. Left hand out wide into a T, palm up. Maybe guiding that left leg in the direction of the right. Breathing big. Relax that jaw, relax that left hand. One more big breath right here. Let's return that left hand to the strap, sole of the left foot toward the ceiling there. Ground that left hip down to the floor. One more big breath. And then we're gently going to start to bring that left foot down. And we're going to take the sole of that foot to the mat. We're going to bring the sole of the right foot to the mat. We're going to go knees together here, and we're going to take the feet out wider. So it's like you're scooting your feet toward the outsides of the mat. So the way we butterfly and splay our legs out, just the opposite of that. Breathing big. Let's bring the soles of the feet back to the mat, underneath those knees one more time. We're going to pick up the feet from the mat. We're going to send the soles of the feet toward the ceiling, but our knees are bent. We're going to take our hands. We're going to reach around for the outsides of our feet. Once you're there, going to gently pull the knees in the direction of the ribs. Try to keep those sit bones on the ground. Last breath here, and then let's gently bring the feet back down to the mat. Let's roll onto that right side. Might use your arm as a pillow or a blanket. Brand new side, brand new body. We're going to take that left arm and we're going to circle it around, bending the left knee, reaching for the top of the left foot. We're going to check in right there. If that's not accessible, we can always use our strap. All signs are a go. You can start to send that left knee back. Open up that shoulder, that left shoulder. Maybe kick that right foot forward. It's a counter for balance. And big breaths. Just a couple more. Let's bring that right foot back, releasing the top of that left foot so that that left foot meets the right. We're going to roll onto our backs one more time here. We're going to bring the knees up in the direction of the chest, grabbing onto them. Gentle rock side to side this time. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet back down to the mat. Before we move into our final posture, I'm going to give you the option. I know we've been pretty active today. If you want to, scoot your mat close to the wall and take your legs up the wall for our final posture. You can do that. Or I'm going to come around with the bolsters if you just want that support under the knees. The bolster. The bolster, the blankets, the pillows, the binkies. Good job today, y'all. Yeah, let's extend out. Thank you. You're welcome. I think yours rolled away. Uh-oh. Take a little time, this final resting pose. It's the most valuable in the practice. Like a little reflection period. What's different about the body right now? Pretty intense stretching, bit of strength, some balance. What'd you find? Where can you let go right now? And checking in with that headspace now. Every time you let go of something there frees up space for the important things. Allow the breath to do what the breath wants to do now, without controlling it. Just noticing what it's like now. If you can stay present a bit longer, resisting the urge to jump right up. Kids' voices will ground you a bit. Maybe the wind. The sound of the fans. The birds. People flying in, people flying out. Coming and going. Eventually going to bring that intentionally soft and slow movement back. Into your pace. Maybe starting fingers and toes. Wrists or ankles, a rock of the knees or the head. Most of our bodies need a bit more of this posture. So feel free to stay there, or if your body needs any additional stretches before you settle in for the evening, feel free while we have the mats out.